So Animal Crossing has been out for about a week, and of course I've got to lay in bed every single day and play that game with my own little animal friend, and I'll show you my village, either live stream or maybe even here. But before we do that, I want to talk about the fact that Animal Crossing got severely review bombed. So this video is all about why some people absolutely hate the new Animal Crossing. So as we pointed out last time, this game is critically acclaimed with a Metascore of 91, 75 total critics. The critics loved this game, but when it comes to that user score, look at that 5.5. People are pissed. Now, before we take a look at these reviews, I'm 90% sure that what most people are going to be upset about is the save state of this game. If you have multiple users on a Switch, the primary user who creates the island pretty much gets to do everything, and any secondary or tertiary user basically can only help the progress of that first person. They have to wait for the first person to do everything they want to do, and in most cases, they can't even help that progress. And I guess Nintendo did this because they want to encourage people to buy multiple Switches per household, but that's not something most of us can do, much as well as multiple copies of the game, unless it's a hard copy. So, yeah, I can see why people would be upset about that. That's a very fair reason to be upset. And taking a look at these negative reviews, yeah, that seems to be the major problem. Nathan Detroit says, 1 dictator, 7 slaves. Same console multiplayer is a huge disappointment. We bought this game to share it. 1 island, 1 screen, shared decisions, and contribution. Maybe 1 dictator, 7 slaves is a little bit unnecessary there, but yeah, I get what he's going for. This user, Outrider, puts it very, very easily. This user, Outrider, actually sums it up pretty well. He says, you can only have 1 island per Switch, not per user profile, not per cartridge, per Switch. This game is supposed to be zen. It's not supposed to be the reason for a spike in domestic homicides. You cannot blame Nintendo if you kill a family member because they dug up the fossils on the island that day before you did. You absolutely, that is not allowed. You can't blame that on Nintendo. It's absolutely ridiculous that the 5 members of my family that all share a Switch have to have only 1 island. Look, I get it. Not everybody can afford multiple Nintendo Switches, especially if you're raising 3 kids. But I just can't imagine the logistics of sharing a Nintendo Switch amongst 5 people. Like, what does that look like? Tammy, listen, you've had the Nintendo Switch for almost 12 minutes now, okay? Your 15 minutes is almost up, and when it's done, you gotta pass it to Tommy. And Tommy, as soon as your 15 minutes are up, you gotta hand it over to Timothy. And Timothy, when your 15 minutes are up, you gotta let me play, motherfucker, because I have not picked any fruit today. Also, how is there no cloud save? Welcome to 2020. Is that for real? Can you honestly not have cloud saves in this game? Because I get it with titles like Pokemon, they're afraid you're going to like clone Pokemon using the cloud save system or something like that. But in a game like Animal Crossing where you can time skip, and almost everybody does, and cheat in this game, what are they afraid of? Are they afraid I'm going to clone the Nintendo Switch? They allowed you to do that on the game launch. That was a bug at the game launch. People were making infinite bells by cloning the Nintendo Switch. What are you doing, Nintendo? Nintendo just does not get the future. I swear, they really don't. In retrospect, now that I think about it, maybe Nintendo thought we could just use this item dupe glitch to create multiple Switches per household. Maybe that's what they were counting on. Doesn't work if you use a Nintendo Switch in-game, Nintendo. We need one in real life, though. Ideally, this would be like the GameCube version, where every player could have their own island. Wait a second. Back on the GameCube, every player could have its own island, and now in 2020 with the Switch, you can't? Then that is a design choice. That is not a mistake. That is a design choice. They absolutely did this to try to sell more Nintendo Switches. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a bit greedy. I mean, not quite as greedy as Pocket Camp was, but still pretty greedy. All right, taking a look at my little island here. While I show it to you, let me say that this time I agree with the review bombers, and I'm really surprised. I didn't run across this problem because obviously I'm a forever alone guy who doesn't do a lot of multiplayer. So clearly I was not going to be a person who ran into this problem. But I think critics should have recognized this. Critics should have realized this as they were playing this game and reviewing it. And they should have warned people. And I think it should have affected the overall score. And I did not kill this duck. I do not know. I know I'm holding an axe, but it wasn't me, I swear. I mean, if I'm being blunt here, I think this was a shitty decision by Nintendo. One that I think is clearly motivated by selling more Nintendo Switches. If the GameCube version allowed you to have multiple islands, then why wouldn't this version? This was a shitty decision, and you've pissed off the casuals, Nintendo. Like, we normally think of it as hardcore gamers that are doing the review bombing, but in this case, Animal Crossing appeals mostly to casual players who enjoy casual games. If you've pissed off the casuals, you've made a really shitty decision, and it's time to fix that. Patch this out, Nintendo. You know you can fix this, so start working on that fix. Now, this is once again one man's opinion. I could be wrong, and I know if I am, you're going to let me know in that comment section below. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. It's the second time I've looked at other people's reviews for video games. I really like doing this instead of reviewing it on my own. I like the idea of seeing what other people think. I personally am enjoying this game quite a bit. So if you like this video, drop a like on it down below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit subscribe. Until then, guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon. Time to dig up fossils.